Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Santosh Pandit. Today's date is 7th July 2021 and today's video topic is inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. It is important part of OOPS, object oriented programming system. The idea behind inheritance in Java is that you can create new classes that are built upon existing classes. When we are inherit from the existing class, we can reuse methods, fields of the parent class. We can add new methods and fields in your current class also. Inheritance represent ISA relationship, which is known as parent to child relationship. But why should we use inheritance in Java? The reason behind it is first is for method overriding, so runtime polymorphism can be achieved, and second one is code reusability. We can reuse the code again and again, but the terms used in inheritance. First, class. A class is a group of objects which have common properties. It is a template from which objects are created. Then subclass or child class. Subclass is a class which inherits other classes, means it can acquire all the data of other classes, other classes or parent classes. It is also called as a derived class, extended class, or a child class. Then the superclass, that means also called as parent class. Superclass is a class from where subclass inherits the features, and also it is called as a base class or parent class. What is reusability? As the name specifies, reusability is a mechanism which facilitates you to reuse the fields and methods of the existing class. When you create a new class, you can use the same field or method which is already defined in the previous method, so that method can be used in any class again and again to run the various program. And then we'll discuss about what the syntax used in Java inheritance. The extends keyword indicates that you are making new class that derives from existing class. You can acquire all the data of superclass in the child class. That means extends is to increase the functionality. By using of extends, functionality is increased by using the methods of parent class and also by the methods of subclass or child class. In Java, a class in which inheritance is called as parent class or superclass, and the new class is called as child or subclass. Types of inheritance in Java. One of the basic one on the basis of class, there can be three types of inheritance in Java. First is single inheritance, then multi-level inheritance, and then hierarchical inheritance. Multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance are not much widely used as above. Single inheritance, for example, when a class inherits another class, it is known as single inheritance. Example, dog inherits the animal class, so there is a single inheritance. Then multi-level inheritance, example of it is when there is a chain of inheritance, this is known as multi-level inheritance. For example, a baby dog class inherits the dog class, which is again inherits the class of animal. So this is called the multi-level inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. The example of hierarchical inheritance is when two or more classes inherits a single class. This is known as hierarchical inheritance. We can describe it as dog cat called dog and cat inherits the animal class, so there is a hierarchical inheritance. And multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, one class can have more than one superclass and inherits features from all parent classes. Java does not support multiple inheritance with classes. In Java, we can achieve multiple inheritance only through the interfaces. Then hybrid inheritance. It is a mix of two or more of the above types of inheritance. Since Java doesn't support multiple inheritance with the class, hybrid inheritance is also not possible with the classes. In Java, we can achieve hybrid inheritance only through interfaces. But why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java? We can explain it as to reduce the complexity and simplify the language. Multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Consider one example described where A, B and C are three classes. If A and B class have the same method and you call it from child class object, there will be ambiguity to call the method of A or B class, since compile time error are better than runtime error. Java renders compile time error if you inherit two classes. So whether you have same method or different, there will be a compile time error. Important facts about inheritance in Java. First is default superclass, except object class which has no superclass. Every class has one and only one direct superclass, that is single inheritance. In the absence of any other explicit superclass, every class is implicitly a subclass of the object class. Superclass can be only one. A superclass can have a number of subclasses, but a subclass can have only one superclass. This is because Java does not support multiple inheritance with the classes, although which interface faces multiple classes are supposed by Java. Inheritance constructor. A subclass inherits all the members, fields, methods or nested classes, etc. from its superclass. Constructors are not members, so they are not inherited by subclass, but the constructor of subclass can be invoked from the subclasses. Private member inheritance. What is private member inheritance? We can say a class does not inherit the private member of its parent class. However, if the superclass has a public or protected methods like getters and setters, for accessing its private fields. There can also be This can also be used by the subclasses. So that's all about inheritance method in Java. Thank you.